That being said, something that I've intimately learned from my own founder journey and from the founders that we've been lucky to partner with, it comes down to the founder and the people.
Right.
And so if you reflect, if I were to reflect back on some of the mistakes that we have made in terms of companies that we've passed on that have ended up doing quite well, oftentimes at pre-seed, the idea and the product is so opaque that it naturally it's going to pivot and shift.
Right.
Half the time when we're investing in companies, they change their names, you know? And so we're just investing so early that the mistakes sometimes come from VCs being so thesis driven that they forget that this is a people business and a founder driven business. And so I certainly will readily admit that on our anti-portfolio.
Who's in your anti-portfolio?
I think great companies that we have a relationship with that are exceptional, would be companies like K2 Space, like an Apex, Base Power. Not to say that these were all companies.
You saw them all at pre-seed.
Not to say that we saw them all at pre-seed, but we saw them all very early or have a relationship with those teams. And so, but I think, not to pick out on any single individual company, sometimes the thesis that we held is correct, but the founder and the company has adapted and they're exceptional. And so they've been able to out-innovate. And so by the time you see them, you're just tracking them casually at Series A, you're like, oh, now that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you should have
because their insights also developed and changed along the way.
100%. Right? Yeah, the idea that this is static is far from truth.
Yeah, fair.
Obviously, this is insanely dynamic.
Which makes it even harder.
And so all of that to say, we try to be really thesis-driven so that we have a structure of how we think about these markets, but not overly dogmatic about sticking to that thesis and adapting to the founder who's sitting across from us. Ultimately, I want to be in the business of supporting exceptional people, especially with how much we lean in. We work day in and day out with these entrepreneurs.
But even then, it's like you're always going to miss out. Like in venture, you're always going to miss out on companies, and there's no way you're going to get all of them, either because who you are as a firm or who you are as people. It's just identifying different parts of different people, and you sort of get comfortable with that, right?